So hello everyone, I am Siva Shankar Hasda. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, your KGPN Bro. In today's video, I am going to discuss about the aromaticity. So let's start. So first of all, let's understand what do we mean by the aromaticity. So it is nothing but the property of benzene-like compound to undergo substitution reaction rather than addition reaction is known as the aromaticity. So it is nothing but basically the property of benzene-like compound in order to undergo substitution reaction instead of addition reaction. So benzene contains three double bond, so it was expected to undergo addition reaction, but it undergoes substitution reaction because of the property of aromaticity. So in fact, it is the property of sp2 hybridized planar ring in which each atom allows cyclic delocalization of pi electrons. So benzene is an aromatic compound, and the compound which resemble benzene in their chemical properties or their chemical behavior are known as the aromatic compound. So here is the categorization of three different type of compound. These are the aromatic, here is the anti-aromatic, and it's the non-aromatic. So what are the criteria for a compound to be aromatic? The criteria are the compound must be cyclic, planar, and there should be cyclic conjugation, and the compound must contain 4n plus 2 pi number of electrons. And criteria for the anti-aromatic is same as the for criteria for aromatic, except it should contain 4 and 5 electrons. And the non-aromatic compound, the compound which are neither aromatic nor anti-aromatic, are non-aromatic compound. So here is the stability order. The aromatic compounds are more stable than non-aromatic compound than anti-aromatic compound. So aromaticity is basically nothing but the property of benzene-like compound to undergo substitution reaction rather than addition reaction. So let's see what are the conditions for a compound to be aromatic. So here is the conditions for the compound to be aromatic. The compound must be cyclic, the compound must be planar, and there must be cyclic conjugation, or we can, in other words, we can say that there should be complete resonance around the ring, and there must be 4n plus 2 5 electrons, where n can be 0 1 2 3 4 and etc. Or we can say in other words that there must be odd pair of electrons undergoing cyclic resonance around the ring. So compound must be planar, that means each atom of the ring should be either sp or sp2 hybridized. Here is a word cyclic conjugation, that means each atom must have a p orbital which are parallel to each other, so that maximum overlapping can take place. So these are basically the conditions, that the compound should be cyclic, planar, and there should be cyclic conjugation, or we can say complete resonance around the ring, and the compound should contain 4n plus 2 5 electrons, where n can vary from 0 1 2 3 and etc. So let's see how to identify whether a given compound is planar or not. What is the criteria? The first condition is that the compound should be cyclic, and it is very easy to check whether a compound is cyclic or not. But the question is how to identify whether a compound is planar or not. So here is the condition for planarity. For a compound up to 7-membered ring, to be planar, the all atoms of the ring must be either sp or sp2 hybridized. All atoms of the compound should be either sp hybridized or sp2 hybridized. No atom can be sp3 hybridized. It is the necessary and sufficient condition for the compound up to 7-membered ring to be planar. The condition is all the atoms of the ring should be either sp hybridized or sp2 hybridized. No atom can be sp3 hybridized. Now how to check whether the compound undergoes cyclic conjugation or not. So here is the condition for cyclic conjugation. For the cyclic conjugation, each and every atom of the ring must have a p orbital which are parallel, so that continuous overlapping around the ring is possible. So each and every atom of the ring must have a p orbital, and they should be parallel to each other. And ring must contain the system like pi sigma pi, or pi sigma positive, pi sigma negative, pi sigma lone pair, pi sigma vacant orbital, something like this. This system the compound should contain, this type of system, for the complete conjugation or complete resonance. Now how to check whether the 4n plus 2 pi electron rule is satisfied or not? Here the total number of electrons participating in cyclic resonance must be odd pairs. Odd pair means it can be 1 pair or 3 pair or 5 pair. 1 pair means 2 electron, 3 pair means 6 electron, 5 pair means 10 electron, etc. These electrons can be either pi bonded electron or lone pair electrons or negative charge electrons also. But the pi electrons of the p orbitals are also counted, provided the p orbital is in the plane of the p orbital of other pi bond. So here one thing you have to remember, that the lone pair and the negative charge electrons are also counted for 2n plus 4n plus 2 pi rule, provided the p orbital on which this type of electrons lie should be parallel to the p orbitals of the other pi bond. Here is one point to be noted: if an atom of the ring contains more than one lone pair, then only one is counted for the 4n plus 2 pi rule. If an atom containing lone pair is connected to double bond which is in conjugation with other double bonds, then lone pair of the atom is not counted for 4n plus 2 pi rule. So here is the example. Here is this nitrogen atom. This contains a lone pair and which is connected to a double bond. Again, this double bond is in conjugation with this double bond and this double bond. So this lone pair will not be counted for 4n plus 2 pi rule, because when we see the orbital diagram of this compound, then it looks like something like this. Here the lone pair orbital is perpendicular to the other p orbital, so this orbital will not take part in resonance, so this lone pair is not counted for the 4n plus 2 pi rule. So if an atom containing more than one lone pair is something like the furan, then only one lone pair is counted for 4n plus 2 pi rule. Out of these two lone pair, only one take part in the resonance. Here is the orbital diagram. Out of the two lone pair, one lone pair is parallel to the other orbitals, whereas one lone pair is perpendicular to the other orbitals. So in case of fused ring, so Hockel rule is basically applicable for single ring compound. For fused ring compound, we have to consider the largest closed loop having cyclic conjugation. For the fused ring, we have to consider the largest closed loop for having cyclic conjugation. The pi bond which comes in the ring only are counted for this. But if a pi bond does not come in the ring, but its both atom come in the ring, then the pi bond also is counted. For example, this here, this is the largest loop, and this atom and this atom both come in the ring, but this double bond does not come. As these two both atom come in the ring, so you have to consider this also. Here is an exceptional rule, that cyclooctatetraene. This is supposed to be planar, but this compound is flexible and it always remains like this structure. This is the non-planar tube-like shape. This is the cyclooctatetraene. So thank you for watching this video.